get started, you know?
What the fuck is going on here?
Fucking shit! Fuck! Oh, terrible start, for God's sake. That's old school. All right. Welcome into the show. So watch, Darla's gonna get up on that couch. Maybe not. She's picking fights and all sorts of nonsense today. So this has already become a thing. And now it works out where her brothers will be sitting there minding their own business, and she'll just run up to him and like try to bite him, like right on the head. And they're like, come on. So now I get in her face and go, no. And I just swat her right on the, just barely, right in the nose. And man, she gets so pissed and she just looks at me. She's like, ah. And so then I do it again. And then she realizes that she has no recourse. I mean, she just doesn't have enough horses to mess with me. So then she kind of gives me side eye and just stares at me. We have literally a stare down. She's very assaultive to everyone in this house. The description of channeling the essence of Daisy is, I don't know if, no, kind of. Daisy kind of liked to mind her own business. And then she would just, I guess, because does she take off running and bash into O'Neill for no reason? Yeah. And that's definitely a Daisy thing. So that's a real deal. And these other two are just so frustrated with her. James P. is headed off to Berlin today because the SRX racing team is in town. And that's like these unbelievable names are all in town for this fantastic race at Berlin. He's excited. Domestic Abuse Darla is the nickname I see being thrown out there from Crazy Ashley. Welcome to you. Oh my God, yesterday. It was a big fraud Wednesday to behold. We covered a lot of ground yesterday on the show. And I think the top story is that our pal Freebeer's Freebeer's wife, her ex-husband is he joined us for the first time on the Patreon bonus podcast. I'm sorry, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Time out. Darla, stop licking the cup. No. God, that was fucking great. He's become an ally, a pal, if you will. So glad to have him and other former spouses of members of the Freebeer. Well, he's not a former spouse. He's connected, you know? We floated the idea of, because when I was growing up, my dad would sometimes pick me up. And he would have his pals, Al and Gary, with him at the door. He made friends at his new apartment. And my mom, I think they all did coke. But anyway, they would walk up to the front door with their looking like they're getting ready to go to the Regal Beagle from Three's Company. Great reference. And my mom is just mortified at these assholes who are at the front door to pick me up when Dad had visitation. So I'm floating the idea of, hey, when you have to go pick up the kids over at Greg's house, I want to go. I want to be there. And we had a good laugh at that. Probably something that it's better off just laughing about it and talking about it, knowing that we could absolutely do that if we wanted to. He behaved himself. He doesn't want to get dragged into court. Tyler says have him wear an Eric Zane Show podcast T-shirt. Further than that, I want him to give the kids Eric Zane Show podcast T-shirts so that they go to his house and they're all wearing my gear at Greg's house. Oh, my God. Speaking of which, on a Big Fraud Wednesday, we did Who Are These Free Beers? And that was an absolutely amazing time. We had another edition of Who Are These Zanes, which was horrible. And then we did the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, 3 more hours. So that put us at a total for the day at like nearly 6 hours of talking into a microphone. Oh, my God. And then we rest. It was fun, and all of those live shows are there for the Tier 2 members. And I will make them available as I hammer out the audio for the rest of the folks on Patreon. When you are Tier 2, you get them live as they happen. And it's all for free. If you sign up for free at patreon.com/Eric Zane, you can check out Patreon for 7 days free. Specifically on Who Are These Free Beers, we broke down the Great Living Room Debate. Now, on the Great Living Room Debate, the idea was they did a segment on, it's hard to put into words. Generational things that years later phased out or something like that. And somehow they settled on a room in a home that people call a living room. Yeah. I mean, that look on my face, that look I know you have on your face is like, why? What's the point? What's interesting or engaging about breaking down living rooms? But boy, did they. In detail. Hot Wings busted out 2 long moments of drone where the rest of the crew were going, ha, yeah. And you could hear the disinterest in their laugh. It was so telling. Oh, my God. You must hear this. The Great Living Room Debate is almost as pointless as the Great Candle Recall Debate. Son of a bitch. All right. But that was fun. Hold on. Darla! You notice this happens a lot more these days. Darla! My new favorite thing to do is when these show up on Facebook, I get a lot of these things show up on my, I don't even sign up for them, but I get them. It's like NFL Fan Buzz. Throws out a question, about football, and then my answer is always trolling, just to see what type of idiots will respond. They asked, which NFL team has the best fan base? So I always answer with the answer that no one else would say. I wrote, Los Angeles football fans are the most knowledgeable and loyal. Now, anybody who knows anything about football knows that is not true. The teams always leave town. Nobody goes to the games. It's a pile of shit. But yet they have 2 football teams there. Right? Yeah. I'm getting the meme of Jennifer Lawrence drinking water and spitting it out at the same time because she's laughing. George says, well, they get taken over every year. And then he follows up with Eric Zane, you have lost a team for years. Come to Philly. We will show you what real fans are. Steelers, Packers, and Patriots fans are great fans also. And, so he's taking the bait. He's doing the old boomer bunker thing. And which more on that in a second. And so then I wrote, Philadelphia has the lowest attendance in the league every year. They have among the highest. They only average about 7,000 fans a game. That's the only way it's entertaining to engage people in these stupid Facebook topics. And then they'll ask a question like, greatest running back of all time is Walter Payton, which is arguable. He was incredible. And then I'll write in something like, well, he only gained like 2,000 yards in his career. He gained like 15,000 yards. I'll just make shit up just to piss him off. Yesterday, the Boomer Bunker started their show, and I have this to say about the Boomer Bunker. It is not bad. It is not that bad of a show. Bob needs to stay in his lane, but John is engaging, and he's to the point. As much as I don't like those people, and I don't like their points of view on the world, it is interesting. And I say that with no nonsense or, I always have malice, but I don't like those people. But they do a good job at keeping it moving. And a couple of the things, reason why I say that is, first of all, when John gets into fights with Bob, it's great. It is excellent. It's some of the best bickering that, sometimes that can be really funny. And I thought it was excellent. They did that a couple of weeks ago. I also will say that, like they were discussing the radio guy who said, "Hi, Barbie," Don Geronimo. I love Don Geronimo. And they were arguing. Like Kate thought it was nonsense that the guy did that, and so she thinks it was misogynistic, and what's his name? John thought it was not, and so it didn't matter how I feel about it, but they actually do a decent job. It pains me to say that because if they all got mauled by dogs today, I would love that. I would be like, oh, fuck yes, mauled by dogs. But they have moments where they actually engage me, and that's awesome. Stand by, I gotta drink this. Hang on, just shot out of my mouth like an asshole. I have paid attention because of the drama, so I'm like, all right, I try to listen to things objectively, and they have plenty of things to build on. I really believe that. Now, again, I hope that a plane runs out of fuel and hits their house, but I mean, I'm gonna keep it real here and tell you that I thought that they do a pretty darn good job. But that being said, we heard during our show, that they were live. So while we were doing the Ben and Eric show, we put them on, and they didn't discuss me, and but I immediately started to type in the chat that they're all fat as fuck and ugly and just stupid grade school attacks on these people. Beating Bob up about blinking too much. And he wears sunglasses because he can't stop blinking. He's a hard blinker. You ever encounter a hard blinker? Hard blinkers are the worst because it's like he's a cartoon character or a Looney Tunes. You can actually hear the guy blinking. So I started to attack him about that, just hammering him for and then it took like about 2 minutes of that, calling him fat and stupid. Everybody in the whole audience, you're a bunch of idiots, jackass, retards. And then all of a sudden I was banned. Oh, shit. Aaron wrote, Go ahead and that I had said, I want you guys, fuck talking about Biden. Talk about the only reason why you are all here. Me. Cody, who was, so Patrick in South Carolina, who I called Chris yesterday. What a fucking idiot. He immediately goes over there and starts trolling them. Cody starts trolling them. Cody in Nashville. And so everybody was having fun getting banned. Hello, Roger / Rebecca. Cody wrote, I kept hammering Bob about blinking in the chat and told him shit like, hey, I can hear you blinking when you turn the camera off. And he needs some Riddick welding goggles. He got pissed off and told me to go wash Eric's balls out of my mouth. No, don't. It feels good. I like it. So I told him he needs to wash the bugs off of his eyeballs and install windshield wipers. And he banned me. LMAO. Oh, Bob. Bob's good at he's the guy who, if there's a message he wants to put on the screen, he can like click the thing. Or if he can play the story. He's a guy that he should not have a microphone. It's a damn good thing that Kate is there to talk to Bob or to talk to John, because Bob's absolutely, he is hot wings, okay? He's not quite that bad, but he's bad. It's horrible. So, I mean, I'll tell you when I think something is okay and when something sucks shit. Bob should, well, yeah, if he could remain on the show would be better if he got attacked by a dog that ripped out his throat. It would be even more interesting because he can't do anything. He is hopeless. He can't, all he can do is sit there and blink. It's really bad. Let's see. I don't see a lot of Dean. Of course, Dean writes this. They were talking about the fucking Washington Commanders and being that it is the bigot bunker. Dean writes, they'll always be the Redskins. Rawr! Anyway, they're all a pile of shit. I'm glad it went down that way. And then I'm glad you all got banned. And, yeah. I think it kind of ends there. It's just fizzling now. Nobody wants to fuck around anymore. They didn't say a word about me by design. They made it seem like they were going to and then did not and whatever. But again, I think the big takeaway here is that your old pal Easy, despite, again, wanting terrible things to happen to these people, it is a listenable show. It is serviceable and listenable. It's not terrible. I don't care what any of you say. And some of you are like, oh, no, they're bad. They're bad. No, you got to listen to it objectively. They're crazy. It's fun to listen to the nonsense because they sit there and break down things like the propaganda movie, the Save the Children, Children of the Sun, Children of the Corn, Saving Freedom. What the fuck is it called? Suspicious Freedom. Rescue the Children Freedom. QAnon Children. QAnon Love. QAnon Blood. I don't know. The fucking Freedom Child movie. They act like this is like a documentary. They act like it's real. They're the type of morons who, when someone says based on a true story, they're like, oh, God damn it, it's real. It's a true story. Fucking A. Yeah, it's a QAnon propaganda movie. Again, John said the other day on his show, hey, yo, 8 million children are abducted every year in this country and put into the sex trade. That's not true. About 450,000 kids, that's just terrible. One kid disappear each year, and most are by their parents. You fucking moron. Amanda says, I just like it because it gives me a reason to look at Jim Caviezel some more. Oh, yeah, he's a handsome QAnon follower. I love that guy. Definitely got a crush on Caviezel. Is the Duchess banned here? Oh, of course she is. We don't want that crazy bitch here. He should unban her so I can gift her a sub and then reban her. Nah, save your money. I can donate it to Harbor Humane. Chris has a suggestion. Chris in Buffalo, he said to me, EZ, when you are voice tracking Big 101.3, the Clear Channel radio station that I work for here in Grand Rapids, will you refer to yourself as the Tune Man? And I said, well, that is an absolutely brilliant idea. I love it. He says, if you refer to yourself as the Tune Man, EZ, I will donate $50 in the name of Maureen to Harbor Humane Society. And I'm like, oh my God, this is an absolutely great idea. I love that you're doing that, and you can count on it. The Tune Man is what I referred to myself back in the day on those old radio recordings. In fact, this is the intro to Who Are These Zanes?
Tension in the city of Warren.
Joe and the Bull on Z93.
The Z.
Tune Man, rocking and rolling you. Eric, I tune in with you. I'm going to be having coming
Tripping
up.
over my tongue.
But you describe this in what you've heard.
Just a puke fest.
What's the problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Shut up, bitch. I should make it a point to try to work in every element of that intro into like one at a time, selective moments on Big 101.3.
Tension in the city of Warren.
So I would have to at some point say tension in the city of Warren.
Joe and the Bull on Z93.
The Z. That.
Man, rocking and rolling you. Eric,
Okay, Tune Man rocking and rolling you. That's what I'm going to say, Chris. Tune Man rocking and rolling you.
I tune in with you. I'm going to be having coming
Tripping
up.
over my tongue.
Tripping over my tongue. I definitely need to say that at some point. Son of a bitch. But you describe this in what you've heard.
Just a puke fest.
What's the problem?
Yeah. Yeah. Shut up, bitch. I don't think I can say that one. Yes, the song is called 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. Also known for The Freaks Come Out at Night. Chris says that's the song he had in the original clip from the city of Warren. Easy rhyme with you. Tension in the city of Warren. I think I wanted to say attention, but it came out as tension in the city of Warren. There's a race war starting. Which reminds me, the guy that my dad punched through his side view, through his driver's side window, Jim Fouts, is suing Warren City Mayor Jim Fouts has filed a federal civil rights lawsuit because he's not on the ballot. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I thought there was some type of like term limit thing. He's been the mayor of the city of Warren since my dad beat his ass. Jim Fouts isn't leaving the mayor's office without a fight. A lawyer for the four-term mayor announced Wednesday that Fouts filed a federal civil rights lawsuit, because he's not on the ballot. Fouts alleges a violation of his civil rights under the First, Fifth, and 14th Amendments because of his exclusion from the ballot in the primary election, which is Tuesday. Michigan courts ruled that Warren residents approved term limits that bar Fouts from seeking a fifth term. I think he's been mayor. I think the mayoral term there is 4 years. Fouts is seeking, among other remedies, to have the federal court under the defendant's boring. He doesn't want to let go of his power. He's a psychopath, by the way. Is the mayor of Warren a full-time job? Yes. It's a huge city. I think it's the second largest city in Michigan. Like 1 million people live there. It's massive. It's part of, Detroit is the largest metro region in terms of population and area. You have the city proper, and then in the 60s, all the white people left, okay, to the suburbs like Warren. And they continue to spread out further. It's kind of like the same way the universe is expanding, Detroit is expanding. Everybody's just going north and west. You can't go east. There's a lake there. You can't go south. It's Ohio. You can only go west and north. Contrary to a Journey song, there is no such thing as South Detroit. So everybody has been running away from black people for decades. So you have millions of people that are just spread out over a massive area. It's like 50 miles north, 50 miles west. That's all Detroit now. So you can live in Livonia, and you're going to say, yeah, I live on the west side of Detroit. It's like boroughs to New York. You can say, yeah, I live in New York. Where? Staten Island. Yeah, I live in Detroit. Where? Berkeley. It's a little Detroit geography for you. All right. Where the fuck was I? Oh, NFK story. It's been a while since we've had an NFK story. Posted a video yesterday. I'll actually share it with you here on Facebook. This is an example. I was shooting just a video of Darla trying to tough talk the cat. The cat is not impressed in any way, shape, or form. Not intimidated. Let's see here. Audio check, video check. In this video, you will hear an example of the NFK. He's always getting up in everybody's business. When he asks this question every day, every week. Are you doing the show with Ben today? And then I'll answer, and he'll always say, are you? He'll always, are you going for a walk today? Yes. Are you? Did you like that chicken that we barbecued? Yes, I did. Did you? He always follows up with something like that. That's kind of like his thing. So, in the video.
I don't think he's scared of you.
Yeah, it's just a simple video of Darla trying to intimidate the cat. Cat not interested and just tells him to fuck off.
I think you are. I think you are scared of him.
Here comes the NFK.
Are you doing the show today yet? With Ben?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Okay, that's the NFK. That is such an NFK thing to do. Kyle says, whoa. When that cat turns sideways, he appears so large. He's massive. He's about 20 pounds. Big kitty. Yeah, he always, every question you get, he's always going to follow up with that statement. Are you? Did you? Can you? Do you? And he always calls me kiddo. He always calls me and the Queen of the Forest kiddo. Hey, you doing the podcast later on, kiddo? Yep. Are you? Yep. Hey, did you masturbate today, kiddo? Yep. Did you? Yep. We catch him doing things. We're not sure what we're catching him doing, but we know we're catching him. This is what I mean. Sometimes we'll leave the house and then forget something and walk back in, and he's gotten up from his chair, taken about 6 steps, and he sees that we are back in the house, and he'll stop. He'll turn like that meme of that baby that walks into the room and goes, oh, and then turns around and walks away. He does that. And this was a little bit more involved than that. Because Diana says, oh, I got to tell you about this one. She was waiting for a friend to pick her up who was driving to whatever. They're going to go do something, probably drinking. And she goes, okay, Kevy, I'm going to head out. I'll see you around. And so she's outside, and then she realizes she forgot something. Well, from in the garage, she can hear the ice maker. So he's getting ice. Just before that, she had filled up her water cup with a ton of ice and water, and she has it with her. Okay? So she fills it up with ice. While she's in the garage, she hears the ice maker going and thinks nothing of it because he's getting ice all the time. She walks in the house, and he appears panicked. Like, oh, my God, I'm caught. But there's nothing that he's done that would warrant, you know what I mean? He's not like he's, molesting an animal. He's getting ice, for God's sake. But he acts like he's done something, according to Diana. And then he turns with the cup full of ice and walks into his bedroom. And Diana, she says, okay, I'm going to see what's going on here. So she's just kind of in the kitchen waiting now. Now she's just there. She wants to see what happens. He walks out of the room 10 seconds later with a cup of ice and is hiding it behind his fucking back. And then he casually goes to the actual freezer, opens it. It's one of those ones that are on the bottom level. And it's like a drawer. He pulls it open and puts this plastic cup full of ice in the freezer. Now, we can't figure out what the fuck he's doing. Why is this happening? Is he hoarding ice? That's the only thing we can think of. We can think that maybe he was like worried that Diana took some ice and that there wouldn't be any ice if he didn't take a bunch of it and have it like in his own cup for him. That's one thing, I guess. I couldn't figure out. That's the only thing we can come up with. We can't figure out why he would do this, considering he's going to be the only one home. He can go get ice whenever he wants. It's an automatic ice maker. It makes ice all fucking day. So, oh my God, we are like, what is going on with you? So I said to her, I go, hey, I want to know. I want to, because he's obviously concerned about it. Rick suggests hidden warm beers. Like, is he hiding beer? No, he doesn't have access. We don't have beer here. He can't like go get it. No, he's completely sober. Patrick writes, he's selling frozen semen to save up for Christmas. God damn it. Yeah, no, I don't think those are semen cubes. don't think those are semen cubes. Is that a thing? Do people ever like, hey, yeah, let's make some semen cubes and just put it in our drink? Ugh. God damn it. That reminds me. Can't drop the E out of you sent me
I don't think he's scared of you.
a hilarious video. But I don't think
You
I'm
are,
gonna do it
I
again.
think you are scared of him.
No, yeah, I can't. This is on some BBC show.
Yes,
That's
sir.
British Broadcasting, not.
Got the big butt dick because I know you want to.
And
What's going on, Carla?
they have some guest on via Zoom who's telling a ridiculously gross story. Oops. What the fuck is going on? I think I just did something stupid. Bunch of audio just came flying in, and I don't know where it came from. I think it was the Darla video. Anyway, audio check, video check. This is so great because one of my favorite things in the world is when people gag. Remember the story about one of the dogs releasing her anal glands here in the studio? That's all the background. That's all the background you need.
Dear Chris and Rosie, please keep me anonymous. Well, that's standard. A few years ago, I was sat on the sofa with my dog on my lap eating a tuna mayo sandwich for lunch. My dog was getting quite excited, thinking that he was going to get some leftovers, and kept fidgeting on my knee. When I was finished, I went to take my plate into the kitchen and noticed I had something oily on my arm. Thinking it was mayo from my sandwich, I licked it instantly. To realise, I'm going to gag. To realise it wasn't mayo at all. Oh my god, I'm going to gag. it was in fact the juice. It was in fact the juice from my dog's anal gland, which must have burst.
I'm telling you, man, when people gag, that's the funniest fucking thing in the world. I don't give a shit who it is. If you gag, I'm laughing. Okay, if my wife is on her deathbed and she's 1 second away from death, but she starts gagging, I'm going to be like, yes, it's the funniest death ever.
It was my dog. It was.
She's wrecked. She is wrecked.
Are you all right?
I think we can finish
the sentence.
It was the juice from my dog's anal gland, which must have been burst while begging for my sandwich.
I wish they would stop laughing just so that we can laugh, because their laugh is wrecking my laugh boner.
I'm so sorry. Lou, we're so sorry.
If you've never smelled anal gland juice, it smells like rotting, dusty fish. So as you can imagine, I was horrified and couldn't put my tongue back in my mouth until I drenched it in mouthwash. To this day, it's potentially the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Thank God for that.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I've got if I visualise something really horrific, I will gag.
Yeah, we know.
So sorry. We are so sorry.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. That was one of the funniest things.
God, I love that. I needed more gagging. That's why I always laughed at Saint Gaslight when he would gag. I might have to. Okay, if they said, "All right, Eric, you can do a radio show, but you got to bring Joe back." I said, "No, never do that." Well, he's gonna gag every day. I have to think about it. Ridiculously, Ashley writes, speaking of Joe, I'm putting mayo on a sandwich right now, and now I want to die. Not even joking. Curious what makes Gaslight gag. Well, we know what doesn't make him gag. Oh, God. Boy, that gag reflex, that is one for the ages. Fantastic. Okay. A lot of sick people in here. Kenny writes, I'm down for some more breast milk talk. Corey says, it would be interesting to see a video of you guys just having a conversation and him trying to be mad at you for all the things you said, but then you saying, well, then maybe you shouldn't have done them. I would love to do that, to have a conversation with my adversaries, and there are many. I like to think of myself as having plenty of adversaries from years past, but also plenty of allies who treat me well, and I treat them well. Like Kenny and Amanda, for example. No, seriously. You know, I get hot and cold. Because if we cross, if there's a problem, you know, it's got to be pretty rough. You know, if we treat each other well, it's going to be fantastic. I'll go to the ends of the earth for you. I'll fucking give you a kidney, for God's sake. But if you fuck with me, then I'm gonna fuck with you, and I'm better at fucking with you than you are at fucking with me. So that's usually how it goes. I will go out of my way to make you feel bad, and that is, some would call that a flaw. Others would call it an asset. It depends on how you look at it. Truthfully, I think it's a flaw set. A little of both. It depends. It depends. Kenny writes, I wish I could go the rest of my life without hearing Kenny and Amanda ever again. Well, yeah, you two are linked. You two have worked the hardest to put yourselves into these roles.
To the Kenny. To the Kenny. To the Kenny.
All true. Do the Kenny. Amanda. Kenny says, I will absolutely not date someone named Amanda. So if the sweetest, nicest, you see, this is why you're stupid. If the sweetest, nicest woman in the world loves video games and all the shit you love, loves your kids, she's super attractive, loves all your quirks and stupidity and dumb things like that, but she happens to have the name of Amanda, you won't date her. That's stupid. And Amanda has said, watch him find a girlfriend named Amanda. And Kenny said, I will absolutely not date someone named Amanda. Come on, man. Amanda then says, well, the only reason I wouldn't date somebody named Kenny is because he wouldn't be over the age of 20 with that name. All right. That's an interesting attack. So the game is on there. Kenny writes, what the fuck? And then he says, God, I hate you, Amanda. No, you don't. Come on now. You can't hate her. So one day there will be a hate fuck. Is that what we're supposed to understand? Chris in Buffalo says the sexual tension is high here this morning. Yeah, you two just need to get after it. Like a Clash of the Titans. This would be Godzilla taking on King Kong. You know? I really want to watch you guys have sex. And everybody else does too. So would you just get on with it? Would you just get on with it? All right. So for you folks on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, it is time to say goodbye. Thank you, though, for being here. Join me on Patreon later on for free. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. You can sign up for 7 days free. You can watch or listen to yesterday's Who Are These Free Beers, the Who Are These Zanes episode, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, where I was real time typing out nasty shit to the Boomer Bunker. You'll be able to see that. That was great. And until I got banned, that was funny. I actually enjoyed that. Well done. All right. So there you go. And as always, download the audio podcast of this wherever you download shows. You can listen to it whenever you want on demand, as well as on Twitch. You can watch the videos on demand. So there you go. Off you go. Have a good day.